For decades, air power belonged to the pilot, to flesh, to breath, to limits written in blood and gravity. That era is ending. What you are looking at is not a drone. It is not a UCAV, and it was never meant to observe from the shadows. Kızılelma was built for one purpose: to fight where humans cannot, to maneuver beyond human tolerance, and to operate without fear, fatigue, or mercy. This is not an upgrade. This is not evolution. This is a break from everything that came before. Welcome to the age of Combat Unmanned Aircraft Systems. But here is the problem. Most people still see Kızılelma and call it a drone. They see an unmanned aircraft and assume they understand it. They do not, because that assumption hides a shift in air warfare that many still fail to recognize. Calling Kızılelma a UCAV places it in the wrong category. It compares it to surveillance platforms, to endurance-based drones, to aircraft designed to avoid fighters, not confront them. That comparison feels familiar, and it is dangerously wrong. Before we go any further, one question must be answered clearly. What separates a UCAV from a combat unmanned aircraft system? And why does Kızılelma belong to only one of them? To understand why this distinction matters, we must define the line between the two. Because UCAVs and CUAS platforms are not designed to fight the same war. A UCAV, an unmanned combat aerial vehicle, is, at its core, an armed drone. Its origins are not in fighter aviation. They are in surveillance. Endurance is the priority. Staying airborne for hours, watching, listening, collecting intelligence. Surveillance, reconnaissance. When required, a UCAV delivers precision strikes, and when the strike is complete, it returns to loiter. That design philosophy shapes everything. UCAVs are optimized for stability, for predictability, for efficiency. They are typically turboprop-powered, relatively slow, designed to operate where air superiority already exists. They avoid enemy fighters, because a UCAV is not a fighter. It is an armed surveillance asset. This creates hard limits. UCAVs are not built for high-G maneuvering. They are not designed for rapid energy changes. They are not intended to survive contested airspace. Against modern fighter aircraft, dogfighting is outside their mission envelope. Interception is a threat, not an objective. When a UCAV enters contested airspace, it relies on distance, altitude, and timing. If those fail, the aircraft does not fight its way out. It withdraws, or it is lost. This is not a flaw. It is a consequence of purpose. UCAVs were never designed to dominate the sky. CUAS platforms begin from a different assumption. Here, the reference is not endurance. It is the fighter aircraft. A combat unmanned aircraft system is conceived to perform fighter missions without a human on board. Jet propulsion is mandatory. High speed is assumed. Wide flight envelopes are required. Extreme maneuverability is expected. Low observability is integrated from the start. A CUAS does not avoid threat zones. It is designed to enter them first. Its mission is not to survive by staying out of reach, but to survive by fighting. This is not an evolution of unmanned aviation. It is a doctrinal break. At the center of this transformation is one removed constraint: the human body. In manned fighters, aircraft performance is often limited, not by engineering, but by physiology. Even elite pilots, cannot sustain extreme G forces for long. Beyond a threshold, loss of consciousness becomes inevitable. In air combat, that margin is lethal. CUAS removes the human entirely. No pilot, no biological ceiling. What remains are structural limits, flight control systems, and mission design. Maneuvers that would incapacitate a human become executable tactics. Engagement geometry changes. The rules of air combat shift. This is not incremental advantage. It is a new operating space. Removing the pilot also removes political risk. Training a fighter pilot takes years, it costs millions, and it carries national consequence. The loss of a pilot is a national tragedy. The loss of a CUAS is not. That reality changes everything. Risk tolerance increases. Mission planning evolves. Previously unacceptable operations become viable. Highly contested airspace is no longer forbidden. It becomes accessible. The advantage multiplies when CUAS platforms operate together. Manned aircraft are limited by pilot numbers and cognitive load. CUAS platforms are not. They are built for network-centric warfare. They share sensor data in real time. They divide roles dynamically. They absorb the highest risk missions. In future air combat, CUAS platforms will operate ahead of manned fighters. They will scout. They will draw fire. They will saturate air defenses. They will open corridors through denied airspace. They are not replacements. They are force multipliers. This is why the word system matters. CUAS does not describe a single aircraft. It describes an integrated combat architecture. Command and control, AI-assisted decision-making, sensor fusion, seamless cooperation with manned platforms. The aircraft is only one element. The system is the weapon, which is why calling Kızılelma a UCAV is not just inaccurate, it is strategically wrong. Kızılelma is not an armed drone. It is a combat unmanned aircraft system, designed with fighter logic, freed from human G limits, unburdened by pilot risk. Platforms like Kızılelma do not belong to the past of unmanned aviation. Soft, BM end. They define the future of air combat. If you want to see more about these technologies, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel, Engineering for Good. See you next time.
War in my mind, I'm trying to find